I'm joined by the children of the late comrade Shirley Edwards of the People's Progressive Party, who has given 6 decades of her life to political activism. And I would consider it one of the highest honors if the president himself were to, at someone's funeral, celebrate their life and their work, and also to even post about it on social media. And I want to read something that the president posted just today. He said, "Today we bid farewell to Comrade Shirley Edwards, a stalwart of over 60 years with our party. Comrade Shirley served our party with distinction and dedication, shaping and molding many lives, including mine." This is the president speaking. "Her legacy of commitment, courage, and unwavering service will forever live on in the PPP family and in the hearts of all whose lives she touched. Rest in peace, Comrade Shirley. Your work here is done." As I said before, I'm joined by the 4 children. Is it 4 of you or are there more?
5.
It's 5 children in total, but I'm joined by 4 today, and one could not be here because...
He had a stroke the same day my mother died.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that. But we are joined right now by Selwyn, Julia, who prefers to be known as Judy, Teresa, and Elmi, who is more popularly known as Biggins. We're not getting into why. That's the thing. But for someone like Comrade Shirley, I mean, you all knew her on a very personal level. So aside from the politics, who was Shirley Edwards?
Humorous person. She was a great counterpuncher, a counteractor, a great mother, a great provider, a great teacher. She was everything. She had a whole package.
And don't forget the humanitarian. She never chose who she wanted to help.
Yes,
Even though we grew up in Lodge, and because of who she was, we were, first of all, I would say, when she joined the party in 1963, she was ostracized by her entire family. So my mom would always say, "It's me and my 5 children against the world." So when she became a politician, we all became politicians. Because everywhere she would go, she took us. Freedom House became her second home. And in saying that, to be growing up in Lodge, where my mother's black, and she's in Indian party, was a struggle in itself. We had to learn to fight. And that we did well.
2 of you were born just before Comrade Shirley entered into politics.
Yes.
So we have Judy, 61, and Selwyn, 62.
63.
63.
No, you born 62, why?
Year down.
The year you were born. So you were 62,
yeah.
which means that both Teresa and Elmi would have been born in the height of the politics.
No, I'm the oldest. I'm the
So it's only one. It's only one who was born in the height of the politics. That's 66 born.
No, actually 2.
I was,
2.
my brother.
My brother after him, he was born in 64. And then she born in 66. That's the baby of the family.
That are born within the political time.
I
Yes.
was just 4 months old.
You were just 4 months old. Over the years, y'all must have seen a lot. Because, I mean, we're getting to her political life, but I want to also know about her professional life. Because I heard something mentioned previously when we had a little pre-chat about her being a teacher in Madas.
Yes.
What was her professional life like?
Well, she was a teacher, but my mother always had several jobs. She never had one job because she had all of us to take care of. And she wanted to give her children the best. We had the best clothes, the best shoes. We joined all the different activities. We were brownies. The boys were in Cubs.
Boys, Cubs.
We were in the library. We danced at Maypole.
I don't know if
So,
they still have maypole,
maypole.
but we used to do the maypole every May month. First of May, you would get the ribbons and dance around the maypole.
would plant
Yes,
it.
Yes.
yes.
And you
And
plant it.
every activity that our school had or anything, we were all involved in it. She made sure we were involved in anything, not forgetting politics. Because as young as we could remember, we were picketing. As young as we could remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said I'll go and pick it.
That's the first time I know about racism, because I was small and I was in the picket line and a guy rode past and then he turned back and he come to me and he said, he pulled off his hat. He said, look my hair and look your hair. What you doing in this line? So I was now studying. What do you mean by that? Then he said, my hair is hard like yours. Look at the rest of it. So then I realized that's how they got us segregation with race, and because I was small and I accustomed to Indian people, because we grew up in the party. So I never know, but it's a different race. I never think about a different race because I was small. But because the guy, I would never forget that, because he passed and he turned back to me and pulled his cap off and showed me his hair and my hair. Then I said, wait, it's got a difference now with your hair, and then I realized that you got different race. You know, we could think about this. That's the first time I know about racism.
And she must have really passed on her values to all of you for you to understand the importance
Yes.
of engaging in politics and so on.
Yes.
But I want to go back to the question about, her professional life. Was she a teacher? Was she an educator by profession?
Yes.
What are some of the places that she lived? And did you move with her when she moved?
Okay.
When she went to Madhya, we moved, she took the two of us with her.
In fact,
Three of us,
The three of us. And she left my brother, the one that is not here. He was 23 days old. And she left him with my grandmother. So my grandma had to take care of him as the baby. And she took the three of us with her.
we went to
And what year
Madhya.
was that?
She got her in Madia.
Oh, you were born, so this was 66.
Yeah, she get pregnant with her
Yes,
mother. She
Madhya.
come to Georgetown and
And then,
get the baby.
Okay. And, so how long did she spend in Madhya? Like,
A few years.
I
like,
think 2 years.
yes.
More than that.
No,
More
but
than
she went 64 and then she came to in 66, what, 2 years?
2 years.
Yes.
that must have been quite some transition for you all.
Oh, it was an adventure.
Also,
Because where we live, the host family, I suppose it was a host family. Now you're older, it's a host family. And the reason why she went to Madhya, because she was a teacher. Don't ask me what school she was teaching at, because I was too young to know what school she taught at.
Madhya Government School.
And then they sent her to Madhya because they wanted to punish her.
and this was who sent her?
Whoever was in power at the time,
Yes.
The
they
PNC
sent her.
government.
Yes.
Okay.
So they sent her to Madhya to punish her, but they didn't touch her mentally, because she left her 23 days old baby with my grandmother, and she took us to Madhya. And where we were living, the host family, they used to mind chickens at the bottom of our house.
The house that we lived in.
And tiger used to come at night to
And scratch the
thing to get the chickens
chicken.
out the pen. So you could imagine how traumatized. I was 3 at the time. She was 5 or 6. He didn't know nothing. You understand? Next month we hear, oh, the tiger got the chicken, or the tiger got this, or he didn't get in,
Got it dog.
or he took the dog.
The tiger used to run with the dog. They come, they see the dog, they carry the dog.
And to go to school every day was a path. You had to walk through like a trail.
A track.
And I don't know if people told me or I actually saw, like, a tiger pass right in front of you, or somebody said, look, a tiger just passed.
Oh my goodness.
So I don't know, I can't really recall and say it was a fact, but this is what we were told.
And have you all been back to Madhya since that time?
She did,
And what was it? Who's that? Who went back?
my younger sister.
And what was that like? Did you have any? You wouldn't have had any
No, she
experiences from that
wouldn't.
first time in
No.
Madhya. So none of you who actually had experiences in Madhya,
They
like y'all,
went
none of y'all
back.
went
We
back.
never went back.
Never
I
went
really
back.
think you should make that trip.
It's nice.
Yeah, I really
a
think you
city
should
now.
make that trip.
But the most awesome thing about my mom, when she got there, and the host family, she made all of them PPP. And they were PPP till the day they die.
Yep.
So how does she? I mean, what are the values? Because for her to go to a space and help to bring people along, help them to understand her message and what it is that she stands for. I mean, she must have had very strong values.
She
So
had-
what are her
Yeah, she
values? Like,
Yes.
what are the things that she believed in?
Yeah, sure.
She believed
Giving.
in giving. She was a humanitarian at heart, a born humanitarian. Because the whole host family, I can't remember exactly, but I heard stories. The boy, her oldest son, name was, I don't want to call the name, but his oldest son, he was very tall. And his mother had him in short pants.
Going to school.
Cool. And my mother bought his first long pants to him. And
Yes.
for the rest of his life, he was grateful.
Be grateful to her.
Because he used to say,
until she
Teacher
died.
Shirley, even to us as we grew up, he moved to
Florida.
Florida. He's living in Florida now, but he was living in New Jersey. So when we went up there to America, he made sure that he took care, did whatever he could
He
because he
gave me a
said
car.
he gave her a car.
A car?
Yes, because he said, your mother bought the first
First
long
long
pants
pants.
for me.
Wow.
He said, gosh, teacher Shirley, she gave me a first long pants. So she had that of reaching out and touching. Even where we were living, and even though we were always fighting with the kids, if a kid come and they didn't have anything to eat, my mother would never ask, your mother's a PNC or whatever. She would make sure they eat without budget. I don't know how she did it. She was like a magic woman. Because we had 3 square meals a day. We had fruits every day. We had when time for school, we never wear no secondhand, nothing. We get new everything, books, uniforms, every single thing we got new. And even some of the neighbors who couldn't get new clothes, she used to take the clothes, turn it over on the wrong side,
and
sew it over so that they could go to school with it.
One of my friends, she used to live with her stepmother. Stepmother didn't used to treat her well and wouldn't buy new. When we got school parade, my mother used to take her school clothes, turn it over on the wrong side, the skirts, because the faded side was, where it fade. So the inside would look new and the outside. So she would turn the, we'd sew it.
And then do back the hem on the inside.
Right.
Mhm.
Just because she couldn't afford to buy for her and then buy for us. But she would buy, she'd turn over her so she would look brand new just like us. And then after we grew up, I always taken in somebody child in the woman house.
To them.
I always taking somebody child. When she come back, she meet a new child in the house.
What does that mean?
And you
Because
them-
the area that we lived in
Live in
was mostly
every-
poverty
This was
stricken.
where?
In Lodge,
Lodge.
Princess Street Lodge.
Everybody was poor. I know some of the parents giving them food and things. So I would take them and bring them in the home to live. And she never questioned it.
The two of them, I never bring in anybody. Let me
And I always used to
And I'm guessing those persons would, be very
Very
grateful.
grateful.
Very grateful.
Could you imagine, and this is so awesome, that they had our neighbors, when they heard that she died, flew back for her funeral. They just came for 2 and 3 days. They say, y'all used to feed us every day. How my mom did it, I tell you, I have no idea.
One in the neighbor, she couldn't afford to buy a stove, and my mother gave her stove, because their stove, was kerosene stove at the time. And she gave her, they never forget that, never. And this one used to take my mother rice, and my mother used to buy her rice and thing in
By the
bulk
bag.
because, it would last, cheaper. She taking it and giving them, and they never forget all of that. They never forget.
Never, never. And then when anybody in the area gets sick, and we know, we say, oh, this body feeling good, whatever. She had a doctor named, I don't know if you do, I don't know if you know him because you're pretty young, Dr. Motilal.
Dr. Motilal.
He used to run the best hospital over the river.
Oh, okay.
And he also had his clinic, private clinic. And my mother would send everybody. She had a whole lot of niece and nephews in Lodge.
Going
And
to
he used to
Dr.
look at them,
Motilal.
and all they had to go and say,
Auntie Shirley.
Auntie Shirley sent me. So she had, and he would look at them free of cost.
She send them to Dr. Anderson.
Dr. Anderson, and then when Dr. Luncheon came to the country, the man opened his private clinic. She sent him people to, and they only got to say, this is my niece or my nephew. They looked them after.
Wow. That's the thing that I love about hearing stories about women in politics. Because on the one side, is the political activism, and you also see the support that they give not only to their own families, but
A
to their
whole community.
to lift
You
up
would
their
not
communities.
believe it, that the people would come. We had wakes of 4 nights, right? And people can come to that. Not every single person, but the majority of the persons that came has a story. Your mother came into the doctor, your mother do me this, your mother do me that. And we know because we used to steal I personally used to steal my mother food
And give to them.
give to people who you don't have rice, you get the rice. If you
The
don't
kind
have
of stealing
personal,
you'll
you
be
have
forgiven for.
And I remember one time, I used to have my friend come in there too, and I would divide my food in half, and they kept check out me. Don't ever do that. I can cook extra rice every day. I put in an extra handful so that my friend could get food, you know. But my grandmother now, they used to want nobody stay too long. When she don't need to want, tell she to go home. And they used to bother me, you know.
So
They-
when we think about certain times within our country, there are a few years that have a certain significance. And it might bring back, immediate memories. And I want to know, now I'm going to move on to your mother's political work. 1966. Ooh, not everybody would be. Let me just check back my notes. Teresa, you would definitely have been particularly conscious around that time. What was the kind of work, political work, that your mother was doing around independence time?
She used to have a lot of meetings and different things that she used to go to. And, sometimes she would take us, sometimes she, come home late at nights and get up early in the morning. Sometimes she got to do meetings or whatever. She would get up, and while we sleeping, she'd comb in our hair and different things just to, so she could have time to work around and whatever meeting she got.
And I think one time I had a strike, I don't know what year it was.
Oh, this,
But-
64.
And she worked
She was
working on the boat.
ferry.
A ferry as a
At New
sailor.
Amsterdam.
Oh, so hold on,
With
we're
her
inserting
big
another
belly.
area now. So she was living in New Amsterdam as well?
No.
Hold on, so how did that come in?
Because she would go and volunteer
It
and
was,
work different
Yeah, she had to
places.
volunteer
The 80
to
days
staff.
strike.
The
So this
strike.
was,
In the
so
60s.
you're from Lodge. She living in Lodge.
And we go all the way to New
New
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Yes,
to work?
and volunteer
Yeah,
as a
volunteer
sailor.
on the
Yeah.
ferry.
Now work volunteer. Volunteer. And leave us with our grandmother.
Yeah, I must have been, to see when she comes back and so on. Yeah,
Well, I
must have
wasn't
been so
born at the time. She used to tell me how she went, and sometimes they go to put a bomb on
On the boat.
On the boat, yeah.
And because of her, she caught onto it, and that's how they didn't get to
Another
put the
ironic,
boat on, the boat didn't get blown up.
another ironic thing to her. She used to work as a teacher, she would think, and her uncle, her mother brother, they used to go, when they go into Madas, we used to go on a truck, right? And he knew that that was his niece, and he told the driver because he used to come out and go potty. So when he tell the man to drive away and leave her. Yes?
In a tiger infested area.
Area. He told the man to drive away and leave his niece, his his sister child.
Was it that the politics was so bad that time?
Yes. Yes, it was.
He didn't want her, because,
To be black and be a PPP,
PP.
it was bad.
he told the driver, the man said, I can't do that. I can't leave her, in the bush, because it's just a little narrow thing, and the vehicle didn't used to come out when they drive in, they ain't coming out till the next day, because it's how much miles that to drive from Bartico to Madia.
At that time, we were using Linden.
And the fact that you're telling me this story now means that she must have told it to you. But
Yes,
she
told.
what did she say that she did when she found out about that story?
When she went home and she told her mom, which is my grandmother, and my grandmother said she stopped talking to her brother because he wanted to kill her child.
All the family
All of-
never look at us
There's-
because of politics.
Yeah.
They
We
stopped
never knew
us.
our
side of the
our
family.
Okay.
Until 92, of course.
Yes.
We met a
When
lot
we
of
won
them.
the election.
Yes. Then everybody.
Start
And
coming back.
even now at the wake now, we see families that we don't know because we were not exposed to them. So after 92, then when we get a lot, that we have so much family that we decided next year for her year anniversary, we're going to do a memorial so that we can actually get to
Meet
know
family.
these people and not married into, well, we are married already, but, not to get involved with, or not our children not get involved with them because they need to know their family. But it's now we knowing them because nobody want us around. But let me tell you, we were happy. We were happy with whatever we did. If we were, we live Princess Street, Bangor is over there. Bangor was our playground. And if we decide we're going to have, because among ourselves, we always forming things. We form a club with the neighborhood kids. And even though their mother was PNC, they would come to the clubs because they would get some kind of thing to drink or eat or something. It's always something to get or something to learn. And we have our little sports in the playground. My mother would join us. She encouraged some of the parents, form a parent committee, and they would have races, the parent, racing, or if you do concert at night, sometimes we used to use concerts, kids doing concert, and the parents would come and participate, even though they were allegedly PNC people.
So she was always stretching across.
Well,
the
yeah.
Always stretching.
And I want to come back to that point, but we're going to move forward in timeline. So that was 1966 period we covered. Now, you had the 68 elections, and then you had the riggings that had happened.
Yes.
What was her work like then, and how were you impacted by that?
From my experience,
I see a swallow here.
when I became eligible to vote, back in those days, they used to pay $10 for a vote.
Who used to pay?
PNC. So you'd go, they got a lot of kids would try to make a $40, $50. So they go vote, come back, and the ink they used to use at the time used to wash out. So they go vote, come back, go back again, another $10, come back. So when I go to vote, or we go to vote, somebody already voted for us. So we never get to vote then.
Wow. What was the system like back then? Like, you go to a polling station, and you realize that someone had already voted in your
for you.
name. So
Yeah.
what did you do?
Turn away.
I remember one year I worked at St. Sidwell School as a polling. I never voted in Guyana because that particular year I was eligible to vote, but I didn't because we had to come back to further down in lot. And when I go they're calling this person name. And I said, but this is not the person. Everybody get angry. They wanted to beat me up. Because they wanted to fight me because the person name that they was calling, and I said, no, that's not the person. I know the person personally. So, that was one of the factors. And then I had a friend, not a friend, yeah, it was a friend. He beat me up, fight me. Well, I never used to take beat up, I used to fight. And we had one big fight over the same election thing. And my mother said, I'm going to complain to his mother. And she went and she complained to his mother, and the mother said, don't you ever hit her again, this is your little sister. Anytime you see anybody beating her up, you got to get in it. Don't let it beat her up. So, those are the things
Yes, and she also mentioned, even though we have our political differences, this is between us.
Yeah,
she
they
lives
really
in this
wanted to-
neighborhood, you got to protect her. And that happened a lot. Because because my mother always reach out to all the children, reach out to everybody. So when it became a period of time that we were literally protected by our neighbors. We went through war, but it became because my mother overreaching and doing different little things for everybody in the neighborhood. She used to keep her birthday party, she invite everybody, and there's always a lot of food to take home. She literally feeds so many. So after time, even though, and she helped convert a lot of people in the area.
Yeah.
So they were undercover PPP.
Yeah, because sometimes some of our friends
Would go and
kind of
vote PPP.
go and
But they
vote
can't
with
let
them,
nobody know.
But and it used to be at Freedom House, so when we go,
And
friends want to go with
Oh,
when we
yes,
got
nice.
Freedom.
So what was happening at that time that made people so fearful to want to identify with the PPP?
Because the
Racism.
racism.
Racism was the
Indian
biggest
and black.
factor.
Buana was a dictator, and he had his hench people, and they will come and beat you up and Most of it. I remember 1980, my mother painted our house for the first time, nice yellow.
Our house was never painted.
And it was never painted before, so the house looked nice. And one morning we wake up, somebody took black paint and wrote big vote PMC.
On the whole
Morning
front.
On the whole front, right across the front.
You know how long we had to live with that? And we were so traumatized because
They
imagine
could
they
have
came when we were asleep and did that. And I was so proud because our house was at the second house in the yard. The front house was painted. And I used to tell my school friends I live at the front because the back was never painted, so I didn't live there.
So they used to see you going in, but they know which house you're going in.
I live in the front house. So when your house paint now, you want to accept that, oh, we moved to the back. That's what they did.
Elmi, I saw you moved up a little bit when I asked that same question about what was happening during the time of the riggings. So what was your perspective, your vantage point?
I used to work at a young age. In my teens, I started working as a polling agent. Before I was eligible to vote, so I would work and I would see people come in and vote more than one time, and they would try to tell me, oh, because I look young. But I was young. Oh, this person was a mistake. The guy was telling me, oh, that was a mistake, the first time to vote. But I used to write everything down. Every time I see somebody vote on my time to vote, I used to write it down, write down everything. So when we finished now, they asked me, do you want to vote here? I said, no, I don't want to vote. It's okay because I know I was underage. And I don't want them to go and say, oh, it's PPP person voting and not supposed to vote. So I told
So
them,
they're trying to set you up.
I said, I'm not voting. I cannot vote. I don't want to vote. I didn't tell them my age. I just said, I don't want to vote. Because I guess they could see that I was young. But I had a lot of experience because I always worked for PPP as a polling clerk, and eventually I was a candidate on when his election. It's not because I'm migrated, I want to be on the list. I always was a candidate on the list, so I always worked on the PPP. Because I'm a PPP and I always working, and it was terrible. I can remember one time, my mom always have PNC friend. That time wasn't PPP, no, it was PNC.
Yes,
Right.
So my mom always have someone who should know in the afternoon. I could remember one year, someone told her, Shirley, you have to get all your black polling agents out because of planning to come and beat them up. So she came to the school where I was at, and she said, Diggins, come, drop everything and run. I said, no, I want to see the candidates vote. He said, no, we gotta go. I gotta get all the out. So she had to run and get me. By the time I left there, and they surround that school because my husband, he ended up going there to look to see if I'm still in
was
there.
this?
At Enterprise.
Okay.
No, large
It was
government.
large government school
Large
in
community
Ted,
high.
or community
The
high.
time was the hand, I think there. They surround that school with Hamilton Green and
His
his
henchmen.
people, they surround that school. So it's a good thing I wasn't in there. Because I don't know what they want to do to me because I'm black. If it was an Indian polling agent, they had no problem with it. But once you are black,
And on the opposite
and
side,
and you're working for PPP as a polling agent, that was a problem. So I went through a lot with that because I always want to vote. I always want to work as a polling agent because I want to help. Anything my mother does, I want to do. I want to help her. So I went through a lot with them, working as polling agent for every election, both locally and general election.
Then we had the period of Walter Rodney in the WPA.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
That was a session by itself.
That was a session by itself. Tell me about that. What was the session really?
Well, because the PPP were very supportive to the WPA at that time. So they were continuous battle, and at that time they had the rabbi, the House of Israel.
Yes, and
Rabbi
they used to
Washington.
come out whenever.
Beat up
And they would
beat
come
up.
out and beat up and break
Break
up
up.
everybody. They would come sometimes and found gangs in front of our house, just waiting in front of our gate, just for us to come out. But as I told you, over the years, my mother has gained the confidence of her
There's so many
neighbors.
people in large.
And they used to say, you touch any one of them, we can get your ass, literally. As particularly, I had an Indian family living next to us, and they were called the Bad Boys.
Bad boys.
And they used to protect us. I never know if they were PPP, PNC,
We
or
never
what.
know what they were.
We never know who they were. And then by then, she had grown her husband and everybody. You know, we had people to back us up. But they used to line up our street, willing to beat our tail up.
I remember one time we used to go picketing, you know, and they had this, I don't know if you ever hear, they had this gay guy that they used to have called Bunduri.
Oh, you were so young to know that.
You don't know him.
You don't know him.
The name rings a bell.
Yeah.
You've heard
When
the
we
name.
go on picket, we used to use, instead of use them small fine stick, they used to give us big stick, and
Two
people
by
always
two by-
want to fight.
Two by
And
two.
Bunduri come to beat me, and I had the stick and I put some good lash in him with it. Yeah, we had to fight all the time.
We became fighters,
Yeah,
trust me.
fighters.
We
had to
became
fight.
fighters not by choice but by design.
Yeah.
And we were good at it.
You have to defend your political
Yeah.
choice.
Yes.
Defend it,
And they
yes.
say, yeah, black and yeah, the Kulima party, and you know.
Yeah, even when you go to meetings, when you go to public, like how they have meetings now, because leading up to election, you got different public meetings. My mother and I would always go, and we always get some bricks. We gotta run sometime. We gotta jump in Uncle Cyril's car and just drive off, because when they would abuse us and then start breaking us down, so we gotta always run.
Who was doing these things?
Black people,
So
black people like
the
ourselves.
areas were off limit to
When you keep
people.
meeting, and like in
west,
south and so.
Don't go there and keep
Yeah, we used to
meeting.
get some bricks, a lot of bricks.
Pelt it down.
Really, it used to be like how we live in Lodge. It wouldn't be, and they have meeting in Lodge, it wouldn't be the people directly
Lodge.
from Lodge.
Lodge, yeah,
They
the
used to
people.
pay people to come and beat you up if you, that's how it used to be. So they would pay people to come and fight you. It's not your neighbor fighting, you know, it's another people from all over that they pay, and they would come to fight, you know, break up the meetings or whatever.
Yeah, these are break up in meetings.
Just to break up the meetings.
There was some collaboration around that time between the PPP and the WPA.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, we were.
Are there any popular characters in the WPA? For example, like you laugh.
We laugh because there's,
You don't want to call me.
We don't wanna
That's
call
all. No.
Are those persons still around today?
Yes.
They are still around today.
Right
So
this
we
very
can,
minute.
you can speak the story, but you don't have to reference the name.
Oh, if you speak the story, they would know it's them.
They know that. Or the WPA people, the PPP and the WPA, you know, they used to try to hear them. And they used to get the WPA people when they're in trouble, they sure used to have them in our home.
They don't know.
In our home, hiding a lot of times. A lot of times.
Because they were targeted by Bonham.
Barnum, because they were black, you know, and the WPA and
Yes.
Walter Rodney stuff and
Yes,
everything.
before.
Sleep over.
So some of the
Hide by
persons
us.
who are being hidden are around today.
Yes.
How many of them?
About, it's four because of, you know.
Don't be
No,
nice.
I never name, I'm not giving name.
But it's interesting because, I mean, the politics from then to now has definitely changed.
Change,
Yes.
jump. Oh my
That
God.
was-
We haven't even touched 1990. We even touched 1980 as yet. Which all these things would have been happening around 1980 at the time, the Constitution and so on.
Yeah.
And then we had 85, Burnham's death. And then we had 92, which is marked as the return of
Democracy.
Those 90s were like.
92.
92 was worse.
Well,
After
at
the
92?
last election, they used to be breaking the steel, they used to be looting, stealing, doing a lot of
Burning.
stuff, burning, and my mom would go to Freedom House because she got to protect Freedom House. So if she go to
Yeah, she
Freedom
left
House,
in her children in the house to go to Freedom House
if
to
she go
protect
there,
her children
I
and
have to go
grandchildren to
there.
protect Freedom House.
I had to go there because she
So
was
we
there.
there, yeah.
So I was at Freedom House with her, and they would. It was really crazy. The
Yeah.
place used to look so gloomy, actually gloomy because everybody, they just people just break. They don't know you, but they want to fight you. Then the breaking place, the stealing stuff, tear gas. They had people, the police tear gas and people. But I used to always go to Freedom House because my mom used to be there, and I wasn't about to leave my mom at Freedom House and that. And I don't know if she's safe because we didn't have a phone, we didn't have telephone, we didn't have cell phone at the time. So when my mom go at Freedom House, I always go at Freedom House.
And the good thing about it, by then, in 92, we have already gained the trust of a lot of our neighbors. So
So
they
you
used
still
to,
continue to live in Lodge.
we never moved to
Never
Lodge.
left-
No,
never left
no.
Lodge.
So we gained a lot of trust and protection for our neighbors. So while they're there, our neighbors would say, we got you. Nobody can come and attack you or anything. They have to protect us. And that is because of who my mom was. She always reached out. She taught us race, creed, religion doesn't matter. You love people for who they are and what they do for you or what you can do for them. She did without receiving anything from anybody, no expectations. And people would say, up to now, people say, oh, your mother was such a big one in the party. She still live in print. She ain't got no money. I said she never steal from nobody. She gave. And even when on her sick bed, and she used to, when she get her pension, she's still giving. Oh, go take $80,000 for me. Oh, give this body this money. Get the body the money. Get the body. When you sell barrels for her, she mostly used to send the barrels in the later age. Everybody coming with a bag. And she full in the bags for them. So she was a born humanitarian.
Straight throughout.
Straight throughout all her life.
And straight throughout your lives as well, y'all have had to engage in a lot
Yes.
In a lot of fights.
Yes.
People
Is
come
there a
Always fighting.
time where you actually felt comfortable to express your political selves?
After 92.
After 92. After 92. I was a PPP in the shadow during high school. I went to Eastern Girls. I didn't want nobody to know I was a PPP.
Well, I used to everybody, I used to share the books, we had a Soviet
Yeah, she was
Union.
braver to share. I
used to
didn't want
share
anybody
the
to.
books out from the Soviet Union. They used to have a lot of books, and I said, go and give it to the school, give the kids in it, give the kids at the school the books.
But the thing, after my mother went
I never
to
was afraid
Russia
to tell
on a
anybody.
conference, and she came back and she told us about Marxism. And I read a little about it, and I fell in love with the Marxist theory, just a little synopsis that I know. And even at my job now, I still preach it, And the
So you're
little,
Marxist by heart.
by heart. I love its theory, each according to their needs, And everyone is equal. And I tell my workmates, and because I'm an office manager, I say we all equal. You got 5 children, you live in a 5-bedroom house. You got 1 child, you live in a 1-bedroom. That's equality. You're a farmer, you have to feed the police, you have to feed the nurses, you have to feed. See, you're as important as any one of us. And don't feel anyone in this office is more important than anybody else, because we all need each other. We all do need each other. Even the president needs us.
Yeah.
Because without us, he can't be a president.
Yeah.
You need the people, so we got to reach down and touch the people at the bottom. And I preach that all the time in my office. I don't say Marxism, though. I say myism. And so because I believe in it, and that's because of my mom and how that is what she projected in us, that everybody is equal. You cut us one thing, run out blood, and it's red. So there's no color.
I want to share something that was posted just today by Kamal Ramkaran, who is the son of Ralph Ramkaran. Kamal said, when I was a youngster in the 1980s, Shirley Edwards, who died recently at 85 and whose funeral was today, was an extremely vibrant PPP activist. She often used to come under heavy attack for her political views, as though she was not entitled to hold them. And she used to be very vocal in defense of those views. I remember her talking and laughing about it at my grandfather's wake in 1990, and vowing to keep on fighting in her usual exuberant way of speech and life. And she did keep on fighting all of her life in the same exuberant way. It was always a joy for me to see her and talk to her. Today, people of all ethnicities actively support Shirley's party, and that also seems to be true for the other parties vying at elections. Maybe that means we're turning a corner.
We are turning a corner.
The elections this time around looks different
Yes.
than previous elections.
I am so happy for that.
And the support that is coming in for the People's Progressive Party, particularly from persons of different ethnicities, is massive.
Yes.
It's quite large. Your family was in a time when that was hardly possible
Yes.
for Afro-Guyanese, because
Yes.
you used to be penalized.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does it mean now for you to see that happening in your lifetime?
I-
And for her to experience it as well before she died?
Yeah, she
A
did.
joy that you can't even believe. can't even believe it. And then only last night, and I don't want to get emotional, somebody that was living in our neighborhood, we had a big problem. And we were living next to him, but he was living in the upstairs house. And we were having this problem. She was in our yard downstairs, but he can throw anything out and it would get her. He threw out hot water on her and it burned her breast. She got a mark right now to carry her to her grave. And he came, it was last night, the night before. And he said to me, I went out to the bridge and I saw him and he said to me, he said, "Oh my God, I am so sorry. Can I see Tess and tell her I'm sorry?" I said, "Of course." And he said, "I'm so sorry. I was young and foolish." And I just, grabbed him and I hugged him. I said, that was a long time ago. This is different times now. I said, "I'm going to take you to my sister." So I took him in the yard. She was in her bedroom. I took him right to the house, right to her bedroom. And he saw her and he told her, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I hug you. I love you so much. Auntie Shirley is my auntie. I had to be here." And he said, "You know what? I'm a PPP now." He said, "I am voting PPP. Aunt Shirley," because Aunt Shirley, she was my aunt. I'm her nephew. And I'm going to tell the whole of Guyana that I'm her nephew. You know what that means?
Come on.
That my sister got a scar on her breast, which she can carry for the rest of her life. And this sudden turn of event. You know how powerful that is? It is so powerful.
Of unity, of forgiveness.
Of forgiveness and everything.
And so on.
And that's what her mother taught us.
Yeah.
Regardless of what anybody did to us, she never taught us to hold grudges or anything. She always forgave. We could just finish fighting. Well, I was the worst fighter. I used to fight everybody and beat everybody up. If I know I could beat you, I'd beat you up every day. So, because that's the way how you gain respect, and other people respect you because they don't want to attack you. Because they know if I attack you, you can get beat up. You understand? And in my own crazy childhood, I didn't even know that was the way. I just did it to protect us. I always get in her in fight. Or I think at 12 years old, I was 12, I just went to high school. I was standing in the court in my uniform.
Yeah. Because of our family.
Because of a family incident and because of who my mother was as a person.
Yeah.
And at a point in time, I used to say, why did this woman do this to us?
Yeah, you gotta fight.
But then as you grow older, as you're 12 and a little way up, you get to realize you got to believe in something. And belief kills in a cure. And I start admiring my mother for her belief. She believed in Chetty and Janet Jagan. And as my sister just often remind me, she just said, you benefit more from them than anybody else. Because I was a sickly child. And I don't know how I used to fight and win a fight and never block out during the fights. But I would block out in school if I stand up in the sun. You understand? And every time I took sick and my mother picked up the phone and called Janet, she was to come in her little Volkswagen, put me in that car and take me to the hospital. I have never went to a public hospital. I've went to all the hospitals all the private hospitals in Guyana. And when I migrated here and I went to America, it wasn't unless it's a block it like a fly, do anything. And every time I had 14 surgeries, and every single time I had a surgery, Janet used to make sure, come on Janet, don't let me say Janet. Come on, Janet used to make sure she paid my mother ticket. Oh, Judy's having a surgery, you gotta go. And then she would send a gift for me. Every single time. And then you get to know why my mother believed in what she believed in. Because she literally saved my life in particular. Because of what in the return she got in her beliefs. And nobody could have, I tell you what I don't want to say because, include a lot of people. But Chetty was another one that Dr. Jagan was another one who stood up for us. I remember when I first got my job at GAU Trade Union, I want to be fancy and dress up and go to work. So you spend so much morning time in the mirror in the morning, you're always late. I think you go to you get in transportation. Then General Secretary called Chetty and complained because I'm Shirley's daughter. He can't just
Fire.
discipline me. He called Dr. Chetty and told him, oh, you know, she's always late, whatever. That man called me, come in. Why are you going to work late every day? I said, I can't get any transportation, it's difficult. He said, okay, that changed from today. I am picking you up every day. The man picked me up, come for me 2 months straight. And guess what? I used to be late still.
Oh, Lord.
He's the only car waiting on
And I
us.
still used to be late. Who does that? And then it's when I knew that my mother made the right choice in life, because he was just him and his wife was just as humane as my mother was born to be,
And they were so humble.
and humble.
When he come home at us,
He
and
would come to
eating-
our house,
eating with his
eat with his hand, and then lick
take
all
off
the
his
fingers.
shoes and
He was so humble. You go to his house, you see with a sewing machine, a pedal sewing machine, and he
Yes,
sewing his
sewing
pajamas.
clothes and
He was
everything.
really humble.
You had to know him is like the most honorable thing ever.
That's why it's be so annoying, because a lot of people just be talking about Common Janet and talking a lot of things about her, what they don't even know, because they don't know the individual. They just hear somebody say something and they run with it. And if they know her, they would know she was a good and kind person.
Yes, she was.
She was a really good and kind person. But people from the outside, they might just see you and somebody tell you something about the person and they run with it.
Right.
I remember a particular incident. There was this Indian family that she was talking, these bad boys. They grew up stealing and things, so they get popular among the blacks. They were bad boys. And their father, when those houses in Northeast of Penita were built, Colonel Janet was housing minister at the time. And their father went to get a house in Northeast. And he's Indian. And Janet told him, she said, Mr. Bacchus, these houses were built for the black people, the poor black people. And I couldn't understand why people keep saying Janet was, she was racial. Right? And he never liked her. He always questioned her from them.
He was one of our closest neighbors.
And that was our news.
And he was Indian, and he used to cuss my mother because Janet did him wrong. So it's like a no-win situation, you know? It's a no-win situation, but in all said and done, I would, if I have to live my life over, I would never be anything but a supporter of the PPP government.
And I want to, as we get ready to wrap up, I want for each of you to take, if you could take one lesson, one thing that you remember, one lesson that your mother shared with you, that you carry even to this day, and share that. You ready? Go ahead, Sullivan. Can we just start with you? One thing.
She always, at least taught us to be honest. Don't do anything to others that you don't want them to do to you. Right? Always help, somebody along the way. Basically, I stop there. Give them a chance.
Judy?
She taught us that regardless of who you are in the life or how rich you are, how much money you have, the most important thing in this life is touching others. That's how you leave a legacy. When you can touch somebody and they can remember what you did for them. And that has been realized now that she's dead, that so many people can come up to you and say, your mother did this, your mother did that. Even though according to, in our portfolio, she was still poor. Mm-hmm. But she touched so many lives that money cannot buy. And she left that with me. And I would always walk down that same path, that people are important, not money. Money is only paper. at concert how you can't eat money.
Yep.
She said, you can't eat the money. You can't eat it. If somebody wants it, buy something, give it to them. And that's what she taught us. People as the most important commodity in this life.
Teresa?
She taught us kindness, to be kind to everybody. Always, that's why I used to always pick up everybody, children, and bring them in the house. Always bring them, always. I know she used to go out her way to help people, anybody. Like how I tell you, she used to help with my friends' school clothes and all these different things. That was kindness, because she used to be kind to her. She used to make sure my friend gets food every day. And different little things she do to, help people and show them kindness and love. Love is one of the most important things she teaches us. Love. And to save.
And to save.
Yep. I remember when I had my first child, at the time when you get children, everybody used to come and get them, when they see the baby, the first baby, they give them $1, $2,
Yes.
and this kind of thing. I should say, you know what? You don't take it, buy money and give it to and spend it on no milk, because it wasn't given for milk. I just said the first time she took out the money that we got, she took us to the bank. And she opened a bank account for him in his name. And the teller was saying, you open a bank account for 2 weeks old baby? She said, yes. And that's how, she teaches us to save, to be kind, and to be progressive and work towards higher goals in life.
I appreciate that very much. And Diggins.
Yes.
Well, the thing that you left with me is whatever you believe in, you follow through with it. Don't care how somebody tried to persuade you to be other. Stay focused. She believed in the PPP, and she never swayed, never tried to go to another party. Even though they lose election, win election, she's a PPP. And I feel that was a good thing. If you believe in something, don't let nobody try to break you and tell you something and something not true about the party and you believe. That's what you left with me. Stand firm in what you believe in and continue in that.
Thank you so much. And thank you again to you all for sharing with me all those stories about your mother. I appreciate that very much. And I want to say thank you as well to our viewers. Take care.